Okay, everybody, welcome back to another 830 crew video. I'm Lux signing in. We are going to continue on to Chapter 2 for our AI solo campaign, The Whispering Woods. Now, here's our current sheet details. We had a long rest, so we recouped a few HP points, I believe. Yeah. And here's the current last response we got from our DM.
Thank you, old Maggie. Take care, you say, offering a nod of gratitude before exiting the shop. You make your way to the local inn, where the innkeeper greets you warmly. You secure a room for the night and finally get a chance to relax. The bed is comfortable, and the room is quiet, providing a much-needed respite from the day's events. As you lie down, you think about the Whispering Woods, the dangers it holds, and the treasures it promises. But for now, you close your eyes, knowing that you've done well today and that tomorrow is another day for adventure. You successfully take a long rest, regaining all your lost hit points and refreshing your abilities. What will you do next?
Alright, just for some information, if you guys are curious, this is the prompt that it sees every time as a reminder. So if you pay for ChatGPT Plus, you can well, again, I take that back. I don't know if this feature is also available for free, but anyways, you need to pay to have access to 4. That's obvious. But here's the prompt I constructed that kind of is at the heart of each response. If I don't forget, I will put this in the description for the specific video. So, if you want to pause and look at that every so often. But let's get back to the campaign. Okay, let's see. We're currently in the inn, and we still have to go see the Whispering. We still have to go towards the Whispering Woods. Let's go to the local tavern. Just talk with the townsfolk, see how our DM can construct a narrative from there. Keep forgetting.
You.
I what?
You head to the local tavern after getting some rest. The place is lively with chatter, laughter, and the clinking of glasses. The townsfolk seem to be in high spirits, creating a welcoming atmosphere. You find a spot at the bar, and the bartender gives you a nod. What can I get for ya? While enjoying a drink, you have the chance to strike up conversations with the locals, gather information, or just enjoy the ambience. What will you do next?
Well, I want to see if there's any fellow travelers or adventurers at the bar and inquire about information on the Whispering Woods. So, type that in.
You scan the room and spot a person sitting alone at a table, clad in worn armor and nursing a mug of ale. The individual appears to be a seasoned adventurer, judging by the scars and the well-used gear. Approaching cautiously, you strike up a conversation. The adventurer introduces themselves as Alex, a mercenary who has traveled through many lands, including the outskirts of the Whispering Woods. I've heard tales of strange creatures and deceptive paths within those woods, Alex shares, their eyes narrowing as they recall their experiences. People say the forest is alive, and not all who enter find their way back out. When asked about specific dangers, Alex mentions rumors of spectral entities, aggressive wildlife, and bewitched areas where the laws of nature seem twisted. The woods are old, filled with secrets and dangers. If you plan on venturing in, be prepared and stay sharp, they advise with a serious tone. You've gained some valuable insights into the potential dangers of the Whispering Woods. What will you do next?
Okay, so the forest is alive. Some spectral creatures about. I've heard tales of strange creatures and deceptive paths within those woods. I ask if magic is possibly the reason for the literal living forest, sarcastically.
You thank Alex and add a sarcastic tone to your voice. So, do you think some kind of magic is behind the living forest? Alex chuckles, catching onto your sarcasm but responds seriously, you know, it might sound like a tall tale, but many believe there's some truth to it. Old magics, ancient and wild, are said to be at play in those woods. Some even say the forest was once home to a powerful druid or a coven of witches. Whether that's true or not, I can't say, but there's definitely something unnatural about that place. It seems like the Whispering Woods are shrouded in mystery and old magic, making them all the more intriguing and dangerous. What will you do next?
How much of my inventory here is for just a second. I have 80 gold from the last quest. Oh. I forgot to see if, so, one issue with my prompt is that this is my last version of the prompt. Now I include leveling up based on milestone system. Forgot to ask, for this one I have to ask the DM if I can level up after the last quest, but it wasn't such a it wasn't such a difficult quest to do that prompts for a leveling up, so I think that's more in the nature of a boss battle or some huge monumental moment in a much greater quest. Probably like the Whispering Woods sounds like something that I would level up if I survive, that is. So I'm going to show, I will show Alex a map and ask him to point to a safe entry point for the woods. Alright.
You pull out a map and lay it flat on the table, asking Alex to help identify a safe entry point into the Whispering Woods. Alex leans in, studying the map closely before pointing to a spot on the edge of the forest. Here, this area is known as the Falcon's Crest. It's one of the safer entry points. The paths are clearer, and it's less likely to run into the more dangerous creatures right away. But still, keep your wits about you. The woods can be deceptive, and it's easy to lose your way, Alex advises with a stern look. You now have a suggested entry point into the Whispering Woods, which could potentially be safer than venturing in blindly. What will you do next?
I'm going to leave the tavern and find my way out of the village to this Falcon's Crest entrance.
You thank Alex for the information and leave the tavern, making your way through the village and towards the Falcon's Crest entrance of the Whispering Woods. As you travel, the scenery transitions from the humble village to the wild outskirts, and soon the towering trees of the Whispering Woods loom before you. The atmosphere becomes noticeably tenser as you approach the forest, and you can almost hear the faint whispers carried by the wind. Arriving at Falcon's Crest, you notice that the trees are somewhat less dense here, and a faint path is visible, leading into the heart of the woods. You've reached the edge of the Whispering Woods. The path ahead is shrouded in mystery, and adventure awaits. What will you do next?
Well, I want to do this is just in case, if it needs it. So, back to DM view. Are there any traps, or should I say, can I see any traps odd? Can I see any traps or a safe route to enter?
To check for traps or to find a safe route to enter, please make a perception or investigation check, depending on your preference.
I'll do perception. I think I have a +4 on that. +2 and then proficiency bonus. Perception check. No, just +2. Okay. 17.
With a total of 17 on your perception check, you carefully survey the area, paying close attention to the ground, the trees, and the surrounding environment. You don't notice any obvious traps, and the path seems relatively safe for the moment. However, the woods are known to be deceptive, so staying alert is crucial. You've successfully assessed the immediate area and feel confident about taking your first steps into the Whispering Woods. What will you do next?
I will enter the woods, keeping to the middle, avoiding the sides.
You decide to proceed cautiously, sticking to the middle of the path to avoid any potential unseen dangers at the sides. The woods grow denser as you move further in, and the whispers become more pronounced, almost as if the trees themselves are speaking. The atmosphere is eerie, and the light dims due to the thick canopy above. Every now and then, you catch a glimpse of movement in the corner of your eye, but when you turn to look, nothing is there. You continue on, keeping your senses sharp and staying alert to your surroundings. After a while, the path forks, leading in two different directions. Both paths seem to delve deeper into the woods, and it's unclear which one might be safer or where they might lead. What will you do next?
Does one path appear brighter than the other?
You take a moment to observe both paths carefully. The left path appears slightly brighter, with a bit more sunlight managing to penetrate through the canopy. The right path, on the other hand, seems darker and denser, with the trees looming closer together. While the brighter path might seem more inviting, It's hard to say for sure which one would be safer in the Whispering Woods, as appearances can be deceiving. What will you do next?
I'm gonna regret this, but let's try it. I'll take the left path.
Choosing the left path, you proceed with caution, feeling a bit more at ease under the slightly brighter canopy. The whispers in the woods continue, but you do your best to stay focused on your surroundings. As you walk, the path begins to gradually ascend, leading you uphill. The terrain becomes a bit more rugged, but it's still manageable. The forest around you feels alive, and you can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. After a while, you come across a small clearing. In the center of the clearing, there's a stone statue of an owl, weathered by time, but still standing tall. The area around the statue seems calm, and the whispers momentarily subside. This could be a good spot to take a short rest, gather your thoughts, or investigate further. What will you do next?
I want to take a closer look at the owl statue.
You cautiously approach the owl statue, observing its intricate details and weathered features. The statue appears to be very old, with moss and vines partially covering its stone surface. Please make an investigation check to see if you notice anything unusual or discover any hidden details about the statue.
Alright, +2 on investigation. Oh, a nat 20. Nice. 20 plus 2 modifier. Nice. Critical. A crit.
With a critical success, totaling a 22 on your investigation check, you take a careful and thorough look at the owl statue. As you examine it closely, you notice that the statue's eyes are made of a different material than the rest of the body, possibly some type of crystal. The eyes seem to be loosely set, suggesting they might be movable or interactable in some way. Additionally, the base of the statue has an inscription in an old, worn-out language, but with your knowledge and keen eye, you're able to decipher it. It reads, "In the owl's gaze, the path shall open." This clue seems to suggest that interacting with the statue's eyes might reveal something or lead to a new path. What will you do next?
Interesting. So, the owl has a different type of crystal. Do I push it like the Three Stooges? Poke the eyes? Let's see. Let me try the spacebar so I can talk to it. If it works. I choose to press both eyes with my fingers.
You decide to press both of the owl's crystal eyes simultaneously with your fingers. As you do so, you feel a slight give in the eyes, and you hear a faint clicking sound. The ground beneath you begins to rumble slightly, and you quickly step back, ready for whatever might happen next. Slowly, the statue begins to rotate, revealing a hidden passage behind it. The passage descends into darkness, and you can feel a cool breeze emanating from within. It seems you've discovered a secret path, possibly leading to untold mysteries and treasures. The whispers in the woods grow fainter, and for a moment, everything is silent. What will you do next?
Okay, interesting. Let me equip my... I already have my... rapier equipped. Okay, never mind. I will. Oh yeah, I'll type it in. Oh, let me speak it. So let's see what should I say. Let me show you guys the. I choose to enter the hidden passage.
You gather your courage and decide to enter the hidden passage revealed by the owl statue. The passage is dark and cool, and you can feel the temperature drop as you descend. If you have a torch or any other source of light, now would be a good time to use it.
Yeah.
The passage is narrow, and the walls are made of stone, worn down by time. As you proceed, the sounds of the forest fade away, replaced by the echoing of your own footsteps. After a while, the passage opens up into a larger cavern. The air inside is stale, and you notice old, faded markings on the walls. It seems like this place might have been used for some kind of ritual or ceremony in the past. At the center of the cavern, there is a pedestal with an old, dusty tome resting on it. The book looks ancient, and it could contain valuable information or knowledge. What will you do next?
Seems like a seems like a trap, perhaps. But I'm gonna do an event. I'm gonna just look around for traps. Are there any obvious traps around the tomb? The tome, sorry.
To check for any obvious traps around the tome and the pedestal,
Tome.
please make a perception or investigation check, based on your preference.
Perception. Perception. All right.
With a 17 in perception, you take a careful look around the tome and pedestal, as well as the surrounding area of the cavern. Your eyes scan for any signs of traps, pressure plates, wires, or anything that might seem out of place or dangerous. You don't find any obvious traps around the tome or the pedestal. Everything seems to be still, and there are no immediate signs of danger. However, given the nature of this hidden place, staying cautious is always a wise decision. Feeling more confident about the safety of approaching, you now have the option to examine the tome more closely or continue to explore the cavern.
All right.
What will you do next?
So, I'm going to take a quick. I'm going to step away for just a minute or two, and I'll be right back. Sorry guys, took a little longer than I thought. Kind of like the Frieza saga. Frieza says 5 minutes, but it's like, 3-4 hours later. Okay, we're back to our campaign. So, let's see. There's no issues or no traps that I need to worry about. Examine the tome. Okay, well, let's just examine it. I will choose to examine the tome. Tome.
You cautiously approach the pedestal, your senses heightened as you prepare to examine the ancient tome. It's covered in a layer of dust, indicating that it has been undisturbed for a long time. Please make an investigation check to see how well you can decipher the contents and understand the significance of the tome.
Sorry, just in my headset. Okay, let's do an investigation check. So I had a 9.
With a 9 on your investigation check, you carefully open the tome, trying to make sense of its contents. The pages are filled with elaborate illustrations and text written in an ancient script, making it quite challenging to understand fully. You can gather that the tome contains knowledge related to magic and the natural world, but the specifics elude you. Some pages seem to depict rituals and spells, while others illustrate various plants and creatures, some of which you recognize as native to the Whispering Woods. Though it's difficult to decipher the tome completely, you feel that it holds valuable knowledge. You may choose to take the tome with you for further study or leave it where it is. What will you do next?
Let's see. I will choose to dust off the tome and loot it, and then make my way down the path.
You carefully dust off the tome, taking extra care not to damage its fragile pages. After ensuring that it's safe to transport, you decide to take the tome with you, believing that it could be valuable or hold important information. With the ancient tome securely in your possession, you turn your attention back to the cavern. However, you notice that the passage you came through has closed behind you when you took the tome. It seems like taking the book triggered some kind of mechanism. Looking around, you see that the cavern has another exit opposite to where you entered. It appears to be the only way forward now. You decide to proceed, cautiously making your way down the new path. The passage is narrow and the air is cool, similar to the way you came in. After a while, you start to notice a faint light at the end of the tunnel, suggesting that you might be nearing an exit. What will you do next?
Well, first let's update our inventory of the tome. Tome. Alright, custom. Let's see if it has that. Can I? Might be a custom item. Okay, we'll just do that. Okay. I will continue down the path.
You continue cautiously down the narrow passage, drawn toward the faint light at the end. The air grows progressively cooler, and the walls of the tunnel seem to close in around you as you proceed. As you get closer to the light, the passage begins to widen, eventually opening up into another large cavern. This one, however, is different. The walls are adorned with glowing crystals that emit a soft, ethereal light, illuminating the cavern in a dance of colors. In the center of the cavern stands a tall, ancient tree, its branches stretching out and intertwining with the crystals around it. The air is filled with a strange, magical energy, and the whispers of the forest are now clear and melodic, almost like a song. It seems like you've stumbled upon a hidden sanctuary within the Whispering Woods, a place of magic and mystery. What will you do next?
That's an interesting development. So, a big tree in the middle of a cavern. Are we still underground?
Yes, you are still underground. The cavern has opened up significantly, but the tall ancient tree and the glowing crystals are all enclosed within this subterranean space. The light from the crystals provides ample illumination, casting a serene glow throughout the cavern. Despite being underground, the tree appears to be thriving, its leaves lush and green. It seems to be drawing energy from the magical environment and the intertwining crystals. What will you do next?
Well, guessing this tree is probably the source of magic, or... Huh. Maybe... I will search for clues on or around the tree.
You decide to take a closer look at the ancient tree and its surroundings, hoping to find clues or uncover the secrets of this hidden sanctuary. Please make an investigation check to search for clues around the tree.
Alright, let's do an investigation roll. Not too bad. 12.
With a 12 on your investigation check, you take a thorough look around the ancient tree and the surrounding area. The tree itself is massive, with bark that seems to shimmer slightly in the light of the crystals. As you examine the base of the tree, you notice a small, faintly glowing inscription carved into the bark. It is in the same ancient script as the tome you found earlier, but with your previous exposure to the language, you're able to decipher it. The inscription reads, "The heart of the forest, guarded and revered, holds the power of the woods, far and near. Respect its might, and leave it be, for its wrath is fierce, as you shall see." The message seems to be a warning, advising respect for the sanctuary and caution against disturbing the balance of this magical place. While you don't find any tangible clues or items, the experience of being in this magical sanctuary and the knowledge gained from the inscription might prove valuable. What will you do next?
I want to challenge GPT's creativity here. So, this might be really silly, but here's what I want to do. I'm going to take the tome I have and hold it, sit it on the tree, against the tree carefully, and ask, like try to talk to the tree if it does actually talk. I'm going to ask, does this tome belong to you? I want to pull out my tome and set it against the tree carefully and try to talk to the tree asking if this book belongs to you. Tome.
You carefully take out the ancient tome you found earlier and gently set it against the tree. Then, you attempt to communicate with the tree, asking if the book belongs to it. The air in the cavern seems to still for a moment as you speak, and the whispers of the forest grow quiet. You wait patiently, but there is no immediate verbal response from the tree. However, as you stand there, you feel a gentle pulse of energy emanating from the tree, almost as if it is acknowledging your presence and your question. The tome begins to glow faintly, resonating with the energy of the tree. It seems like the tree and the tome are indeed connected in some way, though the specifics are unclear. The tree might not be able to communicate verbally, but it has definitely responded to your action. What will you do next?
try to talk to it again. I will try to talk to the tree again, ask it if I can take the book or does it want to stay here, but a little louder this time.
You decide to try communicating with the tree once more, this time raising your voice slightly as you ask if you may take the book with you or if it prefers the book to remain here. As your words echo through the cavern, the energy in the air shifts. The tree seems to respond to your louder voice, and you feel a stronger pulse of energy, accompanied by a faint humming sound. The tome's glow intensifies for a moment before gradually dimming back down. The tree's response, though not verbal, seems to convey a sense of neutrality. It doesn't give a clear indication of wanting the tome to stay or go, leaving the decision up to you. What will you do next?
I don't know, I feel like... Again, more silliness. Just want to test the creativity. I will choose to carefully take the book once again and bow to the tree and thank it for its offering. And then look for an exit.
You carefully pick up the ancient tome once again, holding it with a sense of reverence. You then bow deeply to the tree, expressing your gratitude for the offering and the unique experience this hidden sanctuary has provided. After paying your respects, you turn your attention to finding an exit from this cavern. You notice that on the opposite side of the cavern from where you entered, there is another passage that seems to lead upward. It appears to be the most likely way out of this underground sanctuary. As you make your way towards the passage, the whispers of the forest return, now carrying a gentle, melodic tone, as if bidding you farewell. You begin to ascend through the passage, feeling the energy of the sanctuary fade behind you as you get closer to the surface. After a while, the passage opens up, and you find yourself back in the Whispering Woods, though in a different location from where you entered. The sun is still high in the sky, and the forest around you is alive with the sounds of nature. You've successfully navigated through a hidden part of the Whispering Woods and gained valuable knowledge in the process. What will you do next?
I will put the book back in my backpack and look around for any clues, threats, or a way out of the woods.
You securely place the ancient tome back into your backpack, ensuring it is well protected. Feeling a sense of accomplishment, you decide to take a moment to orient yourself and look around for any clues, threats, or a way out of the woods.
Threats.
Please make a survival check to navigate through the woods and a perception check to search for clues or potential threats.
2 checks. Okay, we got 2 checks going here. Survival. 9. Okay. 9 on survival. Perception check. Shit. 7 on perception. Alright.
With a 9 on your survival check and a 7 on your perception check, you find it quite challenging to navigate through the dense forest. The trees seem to whisper amongst themselves, and the forest feels alive, but it's difficult to discern a clear path out. Your surroundings look similar in every direction, making it easy to feel disoriented. As for threats or clues, you don't immediately notice anything out of the ordinary, but the forest's mysterious aura keeps you on edge. You may choose to continue wandering in hopes of finding your way out, or you could try to use another method to determine your direction. Additionally, If you have any items or abilities that might aid in navigation or perception, now might be a good time to use them. What will you do next?
Well, I have the map. I don't know if it details my exact position, but I choose to look at my map. Oops.
You take out your map, hoping to use it to help navigate your way out of the Whispering Woods. As you unfold the map and try to make sense of your surroundings, you realize that the forest's layout seems to shift and change, making it difficult to pinpoint your exact location. The map does provide a general sense of direction, and you can identify some landmarks that might help guide you. You notice that Falcon's Crest, the entrance you used to enter the forest, is marked on the map, and you attempt to orient yourself in that direction. While the map does help, the forest's mystical nature makes it challenging to rely solely on the map for navigation. You might need to combine the map's information with your instincts and observation of the natural surroundings to find your way out. What will you do next?
Are there any paths or openings I can go through in the forest surrounding?
You take a moment to survey your surroundings, searching for any paths or openings in the dense forest that could lead you out. Please make a perception check to see if you can spot a way through the trees.
13.
With a 13 on your perception check, you take a careful look around and notice a faint trail through the trees, slightly less dense than the surrounding forest. It's not a well-trodden path, but it does seem like something or someone has passed through here recently, creating a subtle opening in the vegetation. The direction of the path is somewhat aligned with the way you believe Falcon's Crest should be, based on your examination of the map. It's not a guarantee, but it seems like a good option to start making your way out of the forest. What will you do next?
Are there any footprints to examine?
You decide to inspect the faint trail more closely, looking for any footprints or signs of travel that could give you more information about this path. Please make a survival check to examine the ground for footprints or other signs of passage.
12. Alright. Oh no! Wait. Oh, never mind. I thought we hit the
limit. With a 12 on your survival check, you take a moment to examine the ground along the faint trail. While the forest floor is covered with leaves and natural debris, making it difficult to find clear footprints, you do notice subtle signs of disturbance. It appears as if someone or something has indeed passed through here recently. The signs are not strong enough to determine the exact number of individuals or the nature of what passed through, but it does seem like this path has been used. With this information, you feel somewhat more confident that following this trail could lead you out of the forest, though the Whispering Woods are known for their unpredictability. What will you do next?
Oops. Huh. There we go. I will choose to go through that path.
You decide to take a chance and follow the faint path through the Whispering Woods, hoping it will lead you back to Falcon's Crest and out of the forest. As you walk, the whispers of the forest surround you, a constant, low murmur that seems to be both guiding and watching you. The path remains faint, but followable, winding its way through the trees and underbrush. You continue walking for what feels like hours, the forest around you seemingly endless. Just when you start to doubt your decision, the density of the trees begins to lessen, and you can see sunlight filtering through the leaves ahead. With renewed hope, you quicken your pace and soon find yourself emerging from the forest. You've made it back to Falcon's Crest, the entrance to the Whispering Woods. The open sky and fresh air are a welcome relief after the enclosed, whisper-filled forest. You've successfully navigated the Whispering Woods and uncovered some of its secrets. What will you do next?
Okay. I will make my way back to the village and try to speak to someone or find someone who is an expert on magic to decipher the book. Cipher.
You decide to head back to the village with the intention of finding someone knowledgeable in magic to help decipher the ancient tome you've found. Upon reaching the village, you notice the bustling activity as people go about their daily tasks. You scan the area, looking for a place or person that might specialize in magical items or ancient texts. You recall that old Maggie's shop had various magical items, and she might have the knowledge or connections to help decipher the book.
That's right.
Alternatively, you could ask around in the village to see if there's a local mage or scholar who specializes in ancient texts. What will you do next?
That's a great amount of tokens that memory that GPT can remember the prior quest of old Maggie's. I choose to go to old Maggie's and talk to her regarding the book. Oops.
You make your way back to old Maggie's shop, hoping that she might have the knowledge or connections needed to decipher the ancient tome. As you enter, the familiar jingle of the bell announces your arrival, and Maggie looks up from her work, her eyes lighting up as she recognizes you. Back so soon. And what brings you to my humble abode this time? She asks, her curiosity evident in her voice. You take out the ancient tome, carefully placing it on the counter in front of her. I found this in the Whispering Woods. It's old, and I can't make sense of it. Do you know anything about it, or can you help me decipher it? You ask, hopeful for her assistance. Maggie leans in, her eyes scanning over the tome with interest. She takes a moment to examine the cover before opening it carefully, flipping through the aged pages. This is indeed an ancient text. The language is old, very old. It's not something you see every day. I might be able to help, but it will take some time to decipher. Ancient languages are a bit of a hobby of mine, she explains, her eyes still fixated on the book. She looks up, meeting your eyes. If you're willing to leave it with me, I can work on translating it for you. It won't be quick, but I'll do my best. In the meantime, feel free to take a look around the shop, and if there's anything you need, just let me know. What will you do next?
Okay. Well, this might be a good point to end this chapter. It's almost an hour now, so I have to go, actually. So, yeah, a good point to leave. Not too eventful encounter-wise, but I do like the little travel we had through the Whispering Woods and uncovering a cavern with a big magical tree, trying to talk to it, finding a souvenir of sorts, and bringing it back for old Maggie to decipher on her own time. So let's just do one more response to close it properly, pun intended. Thank her and let her know that I'll be at the tavern grabbing another drink.
You express your gratitude to old Maggie, letting her know, "Thank you so much for your help. I'll leave the book with you then. I'll be at the tavern grabbing a drink if you need me." Maggie nods in understanding. "Take your time, dear. These things can't be rushed. I'll send for you at the tavern if I find anything interesting. With that settled, you make your way out of the shop and head towards the tavern, feeling a bit lighter now that the book is in capable hands. The tavern's familiar hum of activity welcomes you as you step inside, and you find a comfortable spot to sit and order a drink. As you wait, you have some time to reflect on your adventure, think about your next steps, or perhaps strike up a conversation with the locals or fellow adventurers in the tavern. What will you do next?
Nothing at this point. So, this will conclude Chapter 2, if I'm not losing track on the chapters, of the Whispering Woods, which is the unofficial name for this campaign, but essentially the solo AI DM campaign. But yeah, it was good, fairly straightforward, nothing too eventful, no encounters, just a couple of checks here and there, which is great to see GPT use from time to time. So it's following the rules to a certain extent. And I was somewhat invested in the middle part of the story, and now I'm curious about this tomb item that we have acquired through a rather peaceful moment. But yeah, we're back to our character for now, and we will leave it at that. So, as always, thank you for watching the 830 crew. I am Lex, and that is it for this video. I'm signing off. See you guys next time.